Yo, welcome to Fast Forward Mindset Motivational Podcast. I'm your host, Coach James. This is where we rewire your thoughts, reset your mindset, and fast forward your life. No more rewinding, just discipline, motivation, and the truth you need to become unstoppable. If you're ready to elevate your mindset and take control of your future, you're in the right place. Let's go.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope all is well. So, y'all, I don't know if Christmas just passed for you or you listening to this way after Christmas, but I'm recording this episode the week of Christmas, just so you know. So, if you hear me say Merry Christmas, that's what that means, all right? So, by the way, Merry Christmas, everybody. So, I hope all is well. Hope everybody enjoyed or going to enjoy their Christmas, however you see it. I just want to say, on the behalf of myself and the podcast, thank you all for continuing to listen to me because without you, this podcast would not keep going. So thank you for all that you do. I got a pretty nice comment too from one of my consistent listeners, and we'll definitely get into that real quick. But I just want to say, if you have not followed the podcast, make sure you do so. If you follow the podcast, you'll never miss a moment to rewire the way you think. So it's very important you hit that follow button. Go do that now. So the comment that I got from one of my listeners was that, hey, Coach James. Yes, it was like that. Hey, Coach James, how and when did you change your life? And I had to stop and ponder on that because it made me really question, when did I change? And let me just state this for the record. My life didn't change. I changed. My life was never bad. It was never one of those lives that you can say, oh my God, my life has just been miserable. It's been horrible over the years. Yes, I've had some hardship. Had some turmoil in my life. I've had some questionable moments, but however, I will say that my life has not been that bad. So my life didn't change. I changed. And let me tell you what I did. A couple things that took place. Self-awareness. I really started questioning myself when it came to how I make decisions, when I make decisions, and why did I make that decision. So it was more along the line of self-awareness for myself, being very aware of the decisions that I make, really analyzing them and making sure that whatever decision I do make, understanding the impacts of it. That was one huge thing. Number two was setting boundaries. And when I say set boundaries, set realistic boundaries, right? No fake boundaries. I'm gonna work out 7 days a week for 3 hours a day. Not saying that can't happen. That can be a real boundary for you. But I just say when you set boundaries, be realistic. Make sure your boundaries is something that you can do, that you can consistently stick to, and that they're achievable boundaries, right? But my point was is that I started setting boundaries for myself. And it's not just so much as setting boundaries for people, right? Like, hey, I'm not gonna let anybody borrow any money. That's a boundary, right? I'm not gonna let someone destroy my peace or rattle my cage and make me upset. That's another boundary, right? But I started setting real boundaries for myself, and those boundaries was like, hey, Coach James, you need to make sure that when you get up every morning, that you remember to give God some time. You need to make sure that you're doing your affirmations. You need to make sure that you're writing in your gratitude journal. And throughout the day, when you're having a pretty rough day, remembering the things that you're grateful for. So it's setting boundaries like that for yourself to help you stay self-aware of your emotions, your thought process, and your personality, right? Because we all have different personalities that could impact us in certain ways during certain times throughout the day. But if you understand the way your personality works, it helps you be able to take control of it and not let it ruin or control your day. So my life didn't change. I changed. I'm more self-aware, and I set boundaries for myself. I started living my life through the kingdom. And let me say that again. I started living my life through the kingdom and not trying to be the kingdom. And when I say the kingdom, it's God. Uh, I don't know who your spiritual leader is. My spiritual leader is God himself, Jesus Christ. And that's what I live my life through every single day. But the reason why I said I started living my life through the kingdom and not try to be the kingdom is that sometimes in life we get caught up with trying to make things be within our control that's outside of our control, right? There's just so many things that we can't control. Number one, you can't control people. Number two, you can't make people be who you want them to be. And then number three, there's just certain things in this world that is just out of your control. And that's just what it all boils down to. It's out of your control. Nothing you can do about it. But I started living my life through the kingdom and not trying to be the kingdom. And I started living my life through God, like I expressed, right? When you live your life through the kingdom, that means that you're giving God control of your life. You're not trying to make things happen because you're going to allow God to let things happen. Being patient is one of my biggest things that I struggled with in the past was I wasn't patient enough to let God resolve it. And because I wasn't patient, I had all these home remedies that I was trying to put together and make things happen because I wanted them to happen today, right now, in the moment. And so with me living through the kingdom, I'm now wise enough and have enough patience to say, you know what? I'm not going to make anything happen that's out of my control. I'm going to give it to God and pray about it and see what his results for me praying and being patient is going to come about. And so that's what I mean when I say I start living my life through the kingdom and stop trying to be the kingdom, because I am not the kingdom. Yes, I can build my house. It can be a kingdom. I can build it the way I want to build it. I can paint it if I want to paint it. I can stucco it if I want to stucco it. But at the end of the day, God is in control of my kingdom. Have you ever seen that phrase or that mantra that says, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord? That's how I live my life. And so does my wife. And so does my children. We all have some facets of our daily life where we install God and let God be our influencer. Now, I'm not saying we're all perfect. I'm not saying it's one of those things where we all got it together, because as human beings, we all still struggle, but we allow God to be the kingdom and we live through his kingdom. So, and you're probably wondering, how do you live your life through the kingdom? Because a lot of people, it's like, hey, Coach James, I go to church, I read my word, I believe in God. You all those things you should do. You should do those, right? But where I feel like where we lose control of ourself at is that yes, we read our word, but we don't take action. I was just sharing with someone the other day that we say we love people because the Bible tells you to love thy neighbor. And we say, hey, I love my neighbors. But when it comes to you taking action and showing and demonstrating how much you love your neighbors, what does that look like? Right. So not only supposed to read your word every day, you're supposed to take action behind your word, live through the word, live out the word and be the word. Right. And that's just taking action. So number one, read your word daily. You got to read something positive daily. I'm not one of those type of guys who are judgmental and try to tell you to serve the God I serve. However, my God has been good to me, and that's the God I want to continue to serve. Hopefully you have someone who is a spiritual leader for you that you're able to serve and that you're able to take action based on the word that you read, however you hearing the word from your spiritual leader. If you could take action from that, that's number one, right? So read your word daily and take action. Number two, I got really good at being grateful about the things in my life. I show a lot of gratitude to things which before I did not. I tell my wife, thank you for being the wife that you are. Yeah, my wife is a God-fearing woman. And the reason why my faith has grown with God is because I watched her through her turmoils and her struggles and the things that God has brought her through. And I sat back and I was like, wait a minute, God brought her through that? God, you got to bring me through something too. God, I'm giving it to you now. I want to see what you're going to do for me. And like I said, because I started being more patient, I started giving things to God. God just made all these things come to fruition that I had always wanted in my life. And it's happening and it's going down. Right. And so I'm grateful. I show gratitude and I'm aware of the things that are great in my life. Back to my point, I tell my wife, thank you for being the wife that she is. I tell my family all the time, thank you for the support that you guys give me. I tell my boss at work, thank you for allowing me to be the leader that you allow me to be, because it could be different, right? But my boss lets me be the leader, right? Be loving, right? Love others and love yourself. You cannot love others if you don't love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, how are you going to know how to love somebody else? That's a big one for me, because every day we say we love people. I love you and I want to do these fabulous things for you to demonstrate my love for you. I want to take you out on a date and spend hundreds of dollars on you. But at the end of the day, you're trying to love someone through materialistic things. It's hard to love someone and receive love and give love back when you don't love yourself. People only love you as much as you love yourself. If people see you lie to yourself, people see you not take things serious, if people see you take advantage of yourself, in a lot of cases, they do the same thing to you, right? And so we have to really love others and love ourselves. I was listening to Myron Golden, excuse me. Who I said Evans. Myron Golden, he was speaking about the love for others, and he was saying that we should be more excited to give love than to receive love, because when we give love, we reciprocate it back. Then we receive that love back in three different levels, right? Higher levels is what I'm trying to say, right? And so if we give the love first, the love is coming back, but you got to be patient, wait for it to come back. So be loving to others and definitely love yourself, number one. Last but not least, y'all, last but not least, enjoy your life. You know, when I started living my life through the kingdom, I said, forget the things that I can't control. I'm going to be grateful for the things that I got and I'm going to enjoy them. I'm going to appreciate them, right? I want to be able to be happy and excited about the things that I have achieved, the things that I have brought, and the things that I have been able to overcome in my life. And so when you're able to do that, you're able to enjoy your life. You're able to feel and live through the kingdom. Because when you live through the kingdom, God tells you to enjoy your life. He says to eliminate your stress, eliminate your fear. There should be no worry. There should be no doubt, because if you drink the water, God will make sure the water feeds you and you will never go hungry. Therefore, I say to you, enjoy your life, live your life through the kingdom, and stop trying to be the kingdom. Hey, y'all, thank y'all for listening. I really, really appreciate it. If you have not followed the podcast, make sure you go do so. And the reason why it's important is because you never want to miss a moment to rewire the way you think. I do 2 episodes a week. I'm on the 2 biggest platforms, which is Apple and Spotify. And if you listen to me, you're probably on one of those platforms right now. Make sure you share the joy with your friends and family about listening to Coach James. Y'all, I'm not hard to find. I'm on IG all day, every day. It's James Watkins at 40 and Fit Life Coach. Don't forget to check out my website at www.rewirethewayouthink.com. If you're struggling today with thoughts of suicide, thoughts of hurting yourself or someone else, please don't hesitate to call a suicide prevention hotline at 988. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help rewire the way you think. And as I always say, practice daily mindset rehabilitation. And that's my 2 cents in there, y'all. Peace.
Thank y'all for listening to today's episode. And remember, don't rewind your life, fast forward it. Until next time, keep moving forward. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help rewire the way you think. All right, y'all. Peace.